We are back here today on my channel, Survive and Thrive, and I want to cover a company that I talked about a few months back, and that company is MindMed, MNMD. And this Yahoo Finance article, MindMed successfully completes the phase 1 clinical trial of 18-MC. And just a quick recap, they are a leading biotech company developing psychedelic-derived therapies, and they've announced the completion of their phase 1 clinical trial of 18-MC, which is the company's non-hallucinogenic proprietary derivative of ibogaine, being developed for the treatment of indications linked to opioid use disorder. The trial was completed in December of 2021, with top-line results expected in early 2022. So if everything goes their way, this should be a positive catalyst for the company and the share price accordingly. Because from the last time I had done coverage on this company, they were around the $2.30 mark per share, and they've drastically dropped to just above $1. So with biotech and these newer companies, especially with this particular niche, it's going to go up and down very quickly. And so if you can't stomach the roller coaster, then this might not be a company that you want to put money in for the short or long term. But because of my research and the strategy that I'm using to be able to invest in this company for at least the next 5 to 7 years, potentially longer, then I have to look at each one of these pullbacks, even if they're very significant, is not a reason to sell out, but to add more. Because I have faith in what this company will end up doing, and I think that the psilocybin and psychedelic industry is going to be a lot bigger than even cannabis. As Robert Barrow, Chief Executive Officer and Director of MindMed, has stated, this is an exciting milestone, and they look forward to announcing the results of their phase 1 study in the coming months. The growing opioid crisis claims over 75,000 lives each year and impacts more than we'll ever know. While ibogaine has been used and studied as a treatment for opioid addiction, its efficacy, while promising, has been overshadowed by significant safety concerns. Their proprietary molecule 18-MC has indicated an encouraging safety profile and preclinical efficacy data, setting the stage for their phase 2A proof of concept study in individuals undergoing opioid withdrawal. They expect to initiate this study in early 2022, which will evaluate the safety, tolerability, and efficacy of 18-MC in mitigating the symptoms of opioid withdrawal. Now it goes further on to say that their phase 1 single and multiple ascending dose trial conducted at a single clinical research site in Perth, Australia, evaluated the safety, tolerability, pharmacokinetics, and effects on cognitive activity of 18-MC in healthy volunteers. Subjects either received doses between 4 and 325 milligrams twice per day, or doses between 2 and 90 milligrams twice per day. So I think this is very exciting and good news for the company. And if it comes out in the first quarter of 2022 that this is a success, then it will be a very big boost for the share price and the company's potential for revenue. And they've got many more trials out there similar to this that they are continuing to go through phase by phase, and success with those will just keep growing and compounding. And for any of investors who are really behind this and have done their due diligence and want to jump in, I think now is your time. But you have to have the stomach to ride the volatility and have the time to ride it out over years so that you really make the most off your investment. And as I was mentioning, Mind Medicine actually went so low that they went to their 52-week low. And as of the writing of this article on January 13th, there was a bit of a rebound. During the regular trading session, MNMD stock suffered a loss of 5.79% at its close of $1.14. The stock recovered most of its losses in the after hours as it gained 5.26%. Consequently, MNMD was trading at $1.20 per share, in the after hours with 16.66 thousand shares exchanging. Currently, it's 420.74 million outstanding shares trade with a market capitalization of 509.65 million. So what's going on? The big dip in the stock might have been taken as a good buying opportunity by investors, hence the stock made a comeback in the after-hours session, recovering most of its losses of the day. Reviewing the stock movements, MNMD has decreased by 8.8% in the past 5 days alone. Also, the stock has lost over 30.9% last month and 63.52% last year. Currently, the stock stands at a loss of 17.39% year to date. On January 7th, the company announced that Stefan Hertz had resigned from his role as director of its board, while the CEO of MNMD, Robert Barrow, thanked him for his contributions. Mr. Hertz shared his positive hope for the company's future. So, like I said, this is one of those companies that is hard to know when the spikes and dips are going to happen, but definitely will be very reactive to any positive or negative news. And so it's one that I continue to add to my position and will continue to build out very heavily over the next few years. And then I'll be watching as this company develops and becomes bigger, as well as seeing the results from their clinical trials. And I think that this will be a disruptor industry that you're going to want to be a part of, even if it isn't MNMD. But for me, this is the one that I'm standing behind. Investors Observer, they're talking about, do analysts expect MindMed stock to rise after it is lower by 27.61% in a month? And Investors Observer gives the company an analyst rating rank of 74, meaning MNMD is ranked higher by analysts than 74% of stocks. And the average price target for MindMed is $8, and analysts rate the stock as a strong buy. So to go from $1 to $8 is a huge jump, and I think that that's probably still a bit skeptical, but I'm along for the ride, so if it does get there, I'll be a very happy man. And even if it only goes to $3 or $4, that's still gains. So still a positive upside for me. If we look at the 1-year chart, you can see that as of the time of my last video, like I mentioned, they were in the 230 mark, and they're down at $1.12 now. For the year, down 62.79%. So quite a big decline, especially if you invested at that time. But like I said, I think that anytime that we see these big sell-offs and decline in the share price is an opportunity for you to pick up a lot more shares and be able to ride with the future of this company and make those gains. So please do your own research. Leave any comments below if this is a company that you're invested in, or if there are others within the psychedelic industry that you think are a good investment opportunity for others. And help me out. If you got value out of the video today, hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe and follow as I upload new content week to week. I'm at just under 140 subscribers, and I want to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark this year. Keep your eyes open for opportunities out there this year and being able to find those companies where you can make good investments for the future to make the most off your money. And as always, make it a great week. Don't just survive, thrive.